Hello, kindred spirits. In this video, we're going to be reliving history, doing a garden project, visiting a French floral shop, and then a little bit of a date night. And if you haven't done so already, I would love for you to subscribe and join our Kindred Spirit Society. So I ask you, what gets me up out of bed at 2, putting on makeup, clothing, shoes, and making coffee, and being out the door by 3? Well, here it is. It's now 3 in the morning, and I am heading towards another location of New Hampshire to meet up with Carla. I'm going to hop in her car, and then we're going to drive towards Lexington, Mass. And we're heading out to watch the reenactment of the American Revolution. So let's see what this is all about. Let's wave hi. It is 5 in the morning. And
we're walking in the middle of the street.
And didn't realize there'd be so many people at this time of day walking to see this reenactment. Now, when we first arrived, they were doing some reenactments of things that actually happened at times that were recorded, including women getting their children together and holding sacks on their backs with items that were all of their personal belongings and valuables. Now, unfortunately, being vertically challenged, there were so many people. All I saw were people's backs, the backs of their heads. So I had to hold my camera up. I don't know what I was filming. And then I had to look at other people's camera screens to actually see what was going on. It was very interesting, but I'm glad we went. One thing during the reenactment, now keep in mind it was already cold, but after the muskets went off, of course there was smoke from the muskets, but also at the same time, a cold fog came in, we could see our breaths, the temperature dropped, and then it cleared again. I thought that was a little eerie, and it kind of made me wonder if our relatives, our ancestors, were visiting the reenactment at the same time. Just saying. Still standing, overlooking the battle greens, is the Buckman Tavern, and I just read that this tavern is sketched and drawn in many of the articles that shared information about the Revolutionary War and its beginning. Now, I visit this place often, and I even was here January 5th, 2024, to share Sugarwood 1790, thinking how fun it would be if it was served in the tavern. Now, truth be told, Carla and I had plans to tape ourselves while we were walking around all throughout the day. I mean, we went from one historic place to another, we went out to lunch, but we had what she called a comedy of errors, and it was so true. It started out when the microphone Carla had on popped off during mid-conversation at the beginning of our day.
All right, I'm testing out my microphone.
Okay, test, test, test.
But
Hello.
test. All right, so we're walking down to the tavern now, but I have to say, getting up at 2 this morning was not the easiest thing like it used to be
God.
when I was younger.
I was so paranoid. I told you my alarm didn't go off. So I kept waking up like every hour. I'm working on very little sleep. But we're getting up literally in the middle of the night to come watch what? Some Minutemen shooting off some guns?
Well, you might have. I saw the back of heads.
We found it almost 40 minutes later, and luckily we did find it because it was on the walk back to the car. And then we had an instance where she forgot her credit card at the inn we had breakfast in. We had to stop in mid-traffic because there's no way to get there, and she hopped out of the car. I ran around to her driver's seat, took off, and had to pick her up later, but we couldn't get close to the buildings because of the police and the one-way traffic. And then we had another instance where we had a neighbor stop with his tractor asking if we needed anything because I was up filming.
1930s. Oh, look, there's, what's his name?
Sasquatch.
Thank you.
Bigfoot.
Uh-huh, Bigfoot.
Yep, right here in Westford.
Beautiful house. 1846. Wow. Look there, they have their fans and their windows up there.
Yeah.
Seriously,
attic
we were
fans.
shoveling snow last week.
Yeah.
Just cruising along.
Get a smile wondering why we're filming.
Hello.
We're just walking, chatting, and enjoying the view. Thanks.
What did he
No,
ask?
I was going to tell you. He asked if he could help us. He lives in this house behind us.
Oh, he does?
Every time I'm walking, every time he asks, and I don't know if that's part of neighborhood watch or just super friendly, which I find everybody's friendly here. Some people say
Everybody's
New Englanders aren't friendly.
No, no, no.
I think it depends where you go.
We had this at our
Yep,
old house. It
yep.
was my grandfather's.
My neighbor used that all the time, haying the field.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
And just a few things. We were laughing the whole day, and I wish we did have it documented. We probably could have saved the world with our conversations, but at least we tried, and down the road, you never know. We might do something at her house, we'll do something at mine, but it was a fun day, and I hope you enjoy these little snippets of the day I had with my friend Carla.
Just been shot under this tree.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my God, look at this.
Isn't this beautiful? So this was, at one point, the main road. And you've got this was a private home, and they, used it as a tavern. And they do have people that work here with the costumes on. Look at the sky.
Hello. Morning. That's just gorgeous.
That's
So
not a
is
jogger
this-
going by, that's the sound of a horse. We'll just just clip it.
So wait a minute, is this something that you can tour?
Yes, yep. They have this open, and they have, and it's free to go in when it is open. You just go in, and they've got tour guides there dressed up in period costumes.
Let's go peek in the windows.
Absolutely.
Okay. This is what we're good at, right? If there's an old house, we're gonna peek inside.
You guys want us to go peek in windows, right? We'll get arrested, not you.
Tell me this is not something you do.
I've
What
actually
about the time you took me to the house you guys were looking at
Oh.
for like an Airbnb,
Uh-huh.
and I got out?
Yep.
I said, I'm peeking in
Yep.
the windows, and you
What-
were laughing.
When I was younger, my dad actually promoted, we'd break in vacant homes. Well, the doors were open.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So there's some candlesticks in here, no candles.
I don't know if we can.
There's a little pot on the, I can't even get a picture of it, can I?
I've got a little
love
bit
to be
here.
able to.
Yeah, no, this is definitely going on memory. I'd have to look it up again, but this was definitely a family home, and then they opened it up to people, you know, passing by. Became a tavern at one point.
I mean, look at this old cauldron right here.
A cauldron or a colander?
Cauldron. The witch's cauldron, right?
Oh, I can see it right there.
Yes, see, you're making fun of me.
Well, since we took down the posts at the other gate and we're going to be doing things over, we are going to take down these 2 posts and the gate. This is temporary. The garage will extend here, but for now, our hopes are we'll be able to move enough to get the gator through this way, in and out, so that I can keep working on this garden and use the gator to get things in and out. So that's what we're going to work on right now instead. The gate is moved, the posts are moved, the rocks are moved, which easily allowed for the gator to get in. And I am very giddy actually, because I'm going to show you a plan that I had, but I couldn't figure out how to do it without all the lifting and the wheelbarrows. Now I can do it. I'm kind of excited. Now, this is just a concept photo that I found, but I do love the pea stone walkways, and this kind of represents down in the area that I'm going to show you in a moment. I had first envisioned this with just the lawn cut and having the gardens in it level, but when I saw this photo with the stones surrounding it, I realized this is something I can keep doing and working on over the years, but this is kind of the concept that I've always envisioned when I saw this property. I just grabbed my gardening notebook and I wanted to show you this. This is something I did when we first moved in. I was making notes of what trees were where and what plants were what. And in that little back garden area, let me see if I can get this to focus. I did create a garden that had the triangles and then it was going to have a center area. So it's very much similar to what I envisioned when we first moved in. Well, this is a lot better. And having the gator in here is making this project a lot easier. Ben came out and he did lift a stone. That one right there fell on top of the peony area last month and I rolled it away. So he picked that up out of the way. I'm gonna add some more stones here. But I'm so glad to have gotten this section done. And now I'll slowly work on this one. The lilies are starting to take over again, unfortunately. But little by little, I will get my way.
Speaking of gardens and flowers, I was invited to attend the Newport Flower Show again this year, just so I can share it with you. The event is happening June 21st and 23rd of this year. Now, while I was heading back from visiting my mother, I stopped at Sandra Sigman's shop, and I thought I would give you a little tour. Sandra will be one of the demonstrators and speakers at the event, along with Lucy Hunter, and Sandra's shop, Fleurs, is located in Andover, Massachusetts, and if you have a chance to stop by and pick up a few flowers, I highly recommend popping in. It's a visual feast for the eyes.